2 years ago, during a meal at the Pongo family home in Kananga, the conversation with our hosts turned to Reverend Pongo's work at the Presbyterian Shepherds and Lapsley University of Congo, UPRECO. That's when I learned that as a music professor since the 1980s, Pastor Pongo has been encouraging theology students to compose new church hymns in their native tongue. I've always been concerned about preserving the unique musical talents with which God has endowed the African peoples, and I was eager to hear more about his efforts. And so I bombarded the professor with questions at the risk of annoying fellow visitors from Newcastle Presbytery. Pastor Pongo told me that in the period leading up to the 1991 centennial celebration of Presbyterianism in Congo, he collected original songs written by his students and by Presbyterian pastors and choirs. Through the collaboration between Pastor Pongo of the CPC, former missionary Elsbeth Shannon of the Peace USA, and Peter Jurgensen, an ethnomusicologist from Wycliffe, more than 60 original hymns were recorded, including 17 specifically for the Presbyterian Centennial. The experts then developed musical scores to accompany the hymns with the intention to create a new hymnal for the CPC. Unfortunately, violent lootings in 1992 interrupted this project. With the missionaries, also the recordings left the country and the project stalled. 20 years later, Elsbeth's daughter, Corinne, compiled the collected material into an electronic hymn book so the CPC could print the hymnal for its congregations. But the socio-economic context did not allow for its dissemination, and the hymns remained unknown and unsung. This rich but unfinished history prompted me to think outside the traditional liturgical box and come with a low cost, efficient alternative for the dissemination of the hymnal that would be more appropriate for the Church's current context and its future. Might it be possible to preserve and disseminate these original hymns via a mobile phone, including the musical scores and recordings, so congregations could learn to sing them? If so, the experience could serve to distribute any future hymnals our partners might want to produce with their original songs. So I contacted Mrs. Shannon's children, Scott and Corinne, to obtain the electronic file of the hymns, and Peter Jurgensen, who offered to digitalize the analog recordings of the 17 centennial songs he found back in his garage. The ethnomusicologist referred me to a team of technical colleagues from the Sill and Wycliffe community, as he knew they had recently developed a program to build apps for distribution of Bible and church resources. This is how Jeff and I ended up participating in a 4-day training to learn how to build ourselves the Misambu Yakutumbisha app. In honor of Reverend Pongo's 40 years of service as a music professor at Upreco, we would like to present to you this app today. In this video, we will demonstrate how to use the app for CPC's Misambu ya Kutumbisha Nayin Zambi songbook after it is installed on an Android mobile phone. To locate the app icon on the phone, look for a round blue circle with the logo of the CPC. Then tap to open or run it. A blue title page will appear for a few seconds, then a list of the songs display. By sliding up and down the list, you can scroll and view all the song titles. There are two ways to view the list of songs. By tapping the default tab on the upper left, you can sort the songs by the number assigned to each song. Alternatively, you can see them in alphabetical order by song title. You do that through the tab to the right. To open a song, simply press on the line name of that song. You may not see all of the verses on the screen at one time. To see any additional lyrics, slide your finger up and down the screen to scroll to the right verse. Notice that within the song there are also two tabs. The default tab on the upper left displays only the lyrics for the song. The tab to the upper right shows the lyrics with musical scores. Besides these options that are available for all songs, some songs have also the original audio recording. For those songs, you will see in the upper right corner of the screen an icon resembling a speaker. To listen to the music for that song, tap the speaker icon and an audio control bar opens at the bottom of the screen. With the audio controls in the middle, you can play and pause the song. And with the half circles to the left and right, you can skip 10 seconds forward or backwards. Through the arrows to the right or left, you can advance to the next song or go back to the previous song. For playing the song faster or slower, you set the audio playback speed on the far right of the audio control bar. To exit a song, tap the arrow in the upper left corner of the screen. That will return you to the list of all songs. The app has several other features, such as a menu list on the upper left. By tapping that 3 lines, you can change the display like font size or color of background. There is also an About page with copyright and other useful information about the app. There are 3 different ways the app can be transmitted for installation. Through the app and APK file itself, with a QR code, and by using a USB stick. They each have their advantages and disadvantages for sharing. Whichever method you choose, the app only works on an Android phone. The Hymnbook's APK file from within the Hymnbook app itself can be sent via WhatsApp. Both senders and receiver need to have a WhatsApp account, and the receiver's WhatsApp contact information needs to be stored in the phone of the sender. You need to let any receiver know that they need to use an Android phone to download and install the Hymnbook app. The advantage of sharing the APK file of the Hymnbook through WhatsApp is that the sender and receiver do not need to be present in the same location at the same time. Another advantage of sending the APK file of the Hymnbook through WhatsApp is that it can continue to be shared simply by forwarding the WhatsApp message to individual contacts and WhatsApp groups. It can also be disseminated through social platforms like Facebook or Instagram. This method can therefore be used to send or post the app from anywhere and at any time, and to large audiences at a time. It has the potential for reaching a wide audience in a short amount of time. The disadvantage is that one needs to have internet access to send and, more importantly, for the receiver to download. A second option is sharing the Hymnbook app through a QR code. To share and install the Songbook app via QR code, the sender needs to make sure they have the QR code available in print or on a screen. The receiver should have a scan app on the Android phone, such as Google Lens. Also for the QR code, the sender does not need to be present, but the QR code does need to be available to the receiver in print or on screen. The method would therefore be suitable for meetings in locations with internet access. That said, once it is captured by someone in the audience, the picture of the QR code can be sent on through WhatsApp messages and social networks, just like the APK file, and that way reach large audiences. The last option is sharing through an USB. It installs the songbook from a USB memory stick with the preloaded app file on it. To do this, you need to make sure you have access to a USB memory stick that contains the APK file for the songbook. The USB memory stick needs to be compatible with the charging port of your phone, either micro USB or USB-C. CPC and CPK leadership have received a USB stick with the file. The advantage of sharing through USB is that it does not require internet. The disadvantage is that you need to have a thumb drive in hand that contains the APK file for the songbook so the app can be passed on to another device. Settings where this method is most useful would be in congregations or meetings in rural areas without internet network or with audience that do not usually have internet credit on their phones. We hope that not only Chuluba speakers in Congo and across the world will enjoy this hymn book app, but also all those who are interested in their Congolese siblings and the expressions of their faith as conveyed in these original songs produced by the CPC.
The Scripture App Builder tool has the potential for creating apps other than Bibles and hymnals on your phone. Various types of apps can be developed in support of ministries of the church. For example, illustrated and narrated books of the Bible prepared for either adults or children, or new songbooks created by choirs of the church. Illustrated lessons to help teachers prepare for Sunday school at church or religious education classes in schools. Also, cost-effective distribution of important church policies or ministry guidelines to church members. We've only touched on some of the basic abilities available in the Scripture App Builder. One more advanced feature can also be to include probing questions to stimulate users to think about or discuss biblical text or even the lyrics of a hymn. While there is great potential for the use of the Scripture App Builder, it will require carefully selected, creative, committed, and technologically adept individuals to be trained and work with their curiosity to explore new apps for use by the church. We believe there are many such persons in the pews, often among the youth, who may be eager to help the church step into this popular means of communication. Christi and I are available to offer basic information sessions to explore the app building process and to prepare potential candidates for a formal training by the SIL experts. If interested, contact the CPC or CPK leadership. SIL's Scripture App Builder training team plans on offering an online course in French during the first half of 2026. Your comments, observations, and constructive recommendations for improving these apps are welcome. You can send those to Christi and Jeff Boyd via WhatsApp or email. Of course, any changes that we make will only appear in future updates. Please note that we hope that in time we will have the audio recordings for all songs listed, not just the 17 centenaire songs that we have today. And by the way, the QR code visible here is a link by which you can download and install the full hymnal. Sorry, iPhone users, it only works for Android devices, which are by far the most common in the Congo. Thank you again.